Well, good evening and welcome to Main Street Sports. We've been away for a little bit here. Ray Halbrook here from Livestream STL Media. Hope everybody's having a great, what's today again? Thursday. It's Thursday. It is Thursday. And we are live right now from the Crystal Highlands Golf Club here. And we've never done this before, but, we're going to do something new here. It's going to be our golf review. And we've got three great gentlemen here and an ex-golfer as well from high school as well. We're going to talk to Drake Beekman. We're going to talk to Brian Sucharski, Sean Breeze, and Joe Hatfield. And then Jeff is way over on my right over here as well. And Jeffrey, my friend, how you doing?
I'm over here, Ray.
Thanks,
Hi, Ray.
Jeff.
I'm doing pretty well, Ray. We're going to power through this little cold we got going on here tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. I really wanted to be here tonight and make a point of it because for me, this is when I look at high school golf, it's something that I see is not paid a lot of attention to, especially in Jefferson County. And I think it's important to get the word out, folks, because not only is it prevalent, and there's some great places to play, great courses, but it's also a great way to develop a skill, a sport that's going to stay with you for life and could lead to, bigger opportunities down the road. So it's not like, going and playing basketball the rest of your life at the Y is going to necessarily help with the contacts, but obviously we know what golf can bring to your table and the different connections that you can make. So very pleased to have our guest tonight and Drake as well. Interesting, before we start, we have Coach Brian Sucharski over there, Hillsboro Hawks head golf coach, future athletic director, by the way, congratulations on that, and also darn good basketball coach, voted the JCA Large School Boys Coach of the Year, so congratulations to that.
Thank you.
And to his left, Mr. Sean Breeze, the Jefferson Blue Jays golf coach, and also some small JCA Small School Basketball Coach of the Year this year. So pretty good here, pretty good company we have. And then directly to my right here, a friend of mine, the president of the Jefferson County Optimist Club and a youth golf chairman for the Optimist, Joe Hatfield. He's going to be talking about a little bit about golf and about what they have coming up this summer, an event that a lot of different kids can get involved in, a lot of different ages. But I want to start off with just a real, basic question right off the bat. And I want to start with Brian. How did you get involved in coaching golf over at Hillsboro?
Oh, well, my golf career started way before I was even an educator. I fell in love with golf when I was 16. As soon as my brother and I started playing, we just played every day in the summertime. We played baseball games at night. It was something to do. And in college, I'd play more when I'd have downtime, and I grew to love the game and eventually decided that I wanted to pursue a career in it. So I went into the management side of golf courses and kept playing golf and got pretty good at it. And as I got better and better and better, I thought about a career in golf as far as playing. And I did that for a while. And then Hillsboro called and offered me a position to teach, and I liked the opportunity. So I'd been actually teaching golf well before I was even an educator. And it just seemed like a natural fit when I got into the high school situation and got to that point where they needed a golf coach, and I said, I'll do it.
So that's been a kind of a lifelong passion of yours.
Oh yeah, it's been a sport that is I've enjoyed a lot, and I used to play at a very high level and don't play quite so well. So it still allows me to compete and get some of that competitiveness out of me because I can't play basketball like you mentioned before.
Right.
You can't play football. You can't play baseball. You can't do that.
Sure.
But you can always play golf.
Exactly. Well, what about you, Coach Breeze? What brings you to the golfing coaching ranks?
Well, completely opposite of Coach Sucharski. I have never played golf at a high level at all, ever. But I'm just like everybody else, love playing golf. And years ago when I was actually teaching at Crystal City, opening came up early in the time I was there. And so, it was a chance to get out on the course. And I was playing a lot back then. Back then, coaches could actually play with the kids. So it was, got into it then and have just been in it ever since.
Well, and then, of course, your time at Crystal City, and that's why we have Drake Beekman here with us tonight. Drake, one of your former players at Crystal City, Crystal City High School. So when I mentioned we were doing this show, he talked about his time there, and I thought we need to have him on tonight because obviously everybody on this panel knows more about golf than I do, but that's all right. And Joe, talk a little bit about when you got involved in golf in your personal life.
Yeah, I started golfing when I was in college down at Rolla, Missouri, and it's a good way to get outdoors, and it is a challenging game. I played basketball and baseball in high school, but like you say, it's a way to connect with other people. It helped me tremendously in my business life to make connections with suppliers and colleagues in the industry. So I've played, played a lot of golf. It's my number one hobby these days. Not quite as good as I was when I was 30 or 40 years old, but it is a game you can play for a lifetime and still enjoy it. And, I do play a lot and enjoy getting outdoors.
Excellent. Drake, you have a question you want to toss at him there?
Well, I wanted to say first, I don't like that you said way back when you were at Crystal, because then that started to make me feel old, even though I'm still in my 20s. So thanks for that.
Yeah, you bet.
But, moving on real quick, if we usually don't talk a whole lot about golf for the high schools around town anyway. So just give us a little bit of a background as far as like last year. What were the ups and downs, kind of the storylines for you guys last year? Who stood out, things like that?
Well, I mean, golf is always a game of up and downs. In fact, they have a statistic on it. When it comes to up and downs, our kids can play, especially at the high school level. You can have a really good day, and then the next day it's all gone. And that's just a struggle of golf itself. And I think that teaches a great lesson to kids. They have those struggles, and if they power through them, they can come back the next day. And it only takes that one shot in golf to keep you coming back. And
I think we all know that all too well.
We had a player out there tonight in our match that had been struggled putting all day, and on the very last hole hit about a 30-foot putt for birdie. So it's stuff like that just it makes it a lot more fun for the kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so coaching golf is a little bit different than coaching a lot of the other sports. It's not like basketball where you're just drill after drill every day and try to look for that improvement. To me, coaching golf is a little bit more just about kind of trying to help kids along mentally, managing a little bit more, because it is so hard. And I tell them all the time that it's too hard of a sport to even get angry at. It's difficult, but I've got a great group of kids, but I do enjoy coaching it because it's a little bit more laid back than the basketball season, and you kind of get to know the kids a little bit. But to me, the goal is just kind of to talk to them, try to get them through some tough times, and I don't know, I really enjoy it, and I got a good group of kids too.
Can't complain with that, can you?
No, not at all.
Speaking of your group of kids, guys. Speaking of your groups of kids, Brian, talk a little bit about who you have on the team, and maybe some not only some of the kids that have come back, some upperclassmen and played a little bit, but maybe some up-and-comers you have this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited about our group this year. Just from what I've seen so far, we have 22 players in our program, and out of those 22 players, I think that there's quite a few of them that are going to develop their golf games and become really good golfers if they want to. We have a pretty good returning core of some older guys and some younger guys. Jack Prince has been our best golfer for the past 3 years. He does baseball as well, so he manages his time between that. Today we had a great performance from Jack Ray, but we've had a really steady group of kids just who come out every day and they want to get better and they do things on the course to get better. We have 6 freshmen this year that I'm really excited for their future because they hit the ball pretty good as freshmen, and if they just continue to do the things that we're asking them to do in practice, I think they're going to develop into really good golfers.
Excellent. And you have a JV team as well, right?
Yeah, and that gets them another opportunity to get out there, and we try to make things in our conference at a level that they go out there and have fun. Because, as Coach Bree said, it can get frustrating, and if you let it get frustrating, it just gets to that point where you could want to quit. And we try to keep the kids involved and interested, and I think the kids have a great time doing some of the stuff that we do in our competitions, and the coaches enjoy it. It's just a really fun setting. It's a lot different than other sports.
Sure. And Sean, the difference is at Jefferson R7, obviously a smaller school, smaller team, I would imagine. How many kids are actually on the golf team?
Well, actually, we have 29 this year.
29 came out this year.
Yeah, we did.
Is that because they want to hang out with the small schools coach of the year?
I cannot imagine that factored into it at all. No,
29?
Yeah, we had a lot of kids that just want to get out and want to try to play, and you know, it's a big mix. It's some kids that want to be out and get involved in something, and you know, like Coach Sucharski said, it's so different than the other sports because golf gives a lot of kids a chance to get out there and participate in something. You know, maybe basketball or football is not their thing, but you know, anybody can get out and learn to play golf. So playing golf well is difficult, but like you said, you know, especially around the county when it comes to the younger kids, we try to adapt all the competitions kind of to their skill level. You know, we're not asking everybody to play the same exact level, but yeah, we've got a lot.
So really, for both of you, the mission as coaches is just helping them mentally and maybe a few things here or there. Just expose them to, show them how they can enjoy the game, even when they're not good at it, even when they have days when they're everything's going wrong, they have bad scores, high scores, but to enjoy it so they can enjoy it for life, really. Right.
Well, absolutely, and I think that's the whole thing. A lot of kids that I have, they want to learn how to play,
sure,
or they play a little bit with their parents, and you know, they just want to continue to get better. But yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, Drake, we used to talk about that all the time. It's just about enjoying it, and you know, if you take it too seriously out there, then you're not going to have a whole lot of fun. But I've got a good group this year, and bunch of real good mix of older kids and younger kids, so it's been fun.
29 out of Jefferson R7.
There's a bunch.
Man, oh man. Drake, you have a...
So whenever it comes to actually like practicing and things like that, obviously you got football, you kind of have like a dead time during the summer, you can't really do anything like that. Is there any set like dead times, or is it just like, hey, if it's the middle of September, you can just go out and do your thing? Like, is there any like MSHA regulated like dead times per se?
Yeah, as far as the summer goes, you get the same amount of contact days that you get with other sports. So there's nothing really different in the summertime as far as the season goes. If you want to do off-season stuff, provide the kids, they get 20 contact days, just like football, just like every sport. In the fall, it's kind of a no-contact period for golf because we get, other sports are involved, and you get the first 7 weeks prior to the season, you can start swinging a golf club. So we can start swinging a golf club in the week we get back from Christmas break usually. And doing that, we provide some sessions where on a Sunday, coaching basketball makes it a little bit more difficult, but we get those opportunities to those kids. And so there are some rules that you have no contact, but if we got kids who are interested, we're going to provide them the opportunity to get better.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, now how does that work? How does practice work even? We're in the season now. How and where do you practice at, and what is a typical practice, right? Do you have to split time between, a course and actually go into a range, or how does that work, Sean?
Well, we're fortunate because this is our home course, and so we get to practice here. There's a driving range, there's a practice green. We right now, with so many kids, we have kind of split them up into two groups, just because it's a lot of kids on the course. And there's a lot of people that play. That the whole key to being high school golfers, you can't get in the way of paying members that are golfing.
Right.
But we split time. They'll use the range, they'll use the practice green. We'll send them out in small groups to play some holes. They typically don't get 9 holes in on a practice, but they get what they can, and just to get them out swinging the club and just kind of getting comfortable with it.
Well, sure. Coach Sucharski over in Hillsborough, do you have a home course, I guess?
Yeah, Raintree is our home course, and they treat us very, very great. We have the same situation where when we're on the course, if there's a paying customer or there's a member out there, that our kids get out of their way and take care of that. But they pretty much let us do what we need to do to get the kids on the course every day as long as the weather's good. And we take advantage of it. We do a lot of stuff on the course because we don't have a range. Our putting green is not very large. So we do a lot of our activities practice-wise and our drills out on the golf course. We try to keep it competitive to where we have developed some games for them to play, and to where they're working on their skills. They don't maybe realize they're working on their skills because they're competing against each other so much. But, it's always tough when you don't have a range because you only get 3 weeks before the season starts, and once you get that going, it's hard to teach kids, especially like Coach Bree said, we get some kids who are new to golf.
Sure.
It's hard to teach them how to play in 3 weeks. But I think that all of our schools in the area do a great job of getting the kids on the course and teaching them the right way how to do things.
Well, and it sounds to me, and Joe, I know because this is part of your mission as well, like the community, whether it's the courses or other golfers too, I'm sure are very much invested in trying to bring young people along in the sport and support them and lift them up. And I know we're going to talk to Joe here in a little bit about what the Optimists do in regard to that, but it's good to hear that not only do these clubs obviously realize, hey, it's important, we want people to really be involved in golf more, but it sounds like probably the other golfers understand as well too. Drake, you have a hard-hitting question you would like to ask these guys?
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that you said that the people at Braintree are nice to you guys, because that course has never been nice to me anytime I play.
It's not nice to anybody.
Yes, it's probably one of my least favorite courses around. But we talk about like actually coaching. It's a whole different beast when it comes to golf. But like you said, if you get someone completely new, or even if someone is kind of dabbled in it but they're not familiar with it, how much and in what ways do you kind of try and coach like their swing and like follow through and just how it all kind of works to kind of get them on the path without obviously trying to throw so much at them that they get so overwhelmed that it's a much bigger task?
Well, luckily, since I've had a little bit of a background in it, it's been one of those things where I've got a program in place where I start them off with the basics. And the number one thing that people tend to ignore in golf is the basics: grip, stance, and just a miniature swing. And if you can teach that to the kids at the beginning, you can build off of that and keep building off of it for hopefully the 4 years that they're with you. It doesn't take a lot to swing a golf club, and you just have to make sure that the kids realize that, yeah, that shot might have not been great. We're going to try to do better, and this is what you have to do better. And if you keep going in that direction, they're going to learn some stuff on their own. It's kind of one of those sports that if you just immerse yourself into that, then you're going to learn a lot just by watching other people do stuff. So we try to focus on, those fundamentals, because if you have a good base, you're going to have a good, solid foundation to build off of and develop your swing as you go.
There you go, of course. What about you, Coach?
Yeah, well, and I would also, especially with the newer golfers, simplifying everything. Trying to make them feel comfortable. There's so much that goes in to golf and your golf swing. And I tell all of our newcomers, if you try to think about all of it at one time, you're going to drive yourself crazy. So that's what we focus on a lot, simplify it. And then as they go through the years and as they get better and, they're able to kind of take it to the next level, add some other things. We do that, and that's kind of where the kids have different kind of levels of instruction. But just keeping it simple and try not to – I don't want them thinking of 20 things while they're swinging.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's almost like learning an instrument. And Joe, I know you because you play the bass and play keyboards. So, you start off with the basics. You're not going to be very good, and then as you start to master some of the simple things, you go on and add a little more each time, right?
Right. And I would always recommend if you're serious about improving, get lessons from somebody who really knows what they're doing, not just your buddy or your friend, the coach, or professional PGA professionals. So many people can benefit from those basics, learning from a professional.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. And Coach Sucharski is one of those guys.
Used to be.
He's actually one of the real golf coaches around the area. Whenever the rest of us always have questions, we'll kind of ask him for his input. But Yeah, absolutely. You got to take lessons, and you got to spend some time outside of when you're with on the course learning.
And it's interesting too, because this is a sport, and there are maybe a couple other sports like this, but this is a sport where it's kind of everybody wants to help. Yeah, sure, there's a competition, but you might want to beat your buddy on the same team more than so that you're worried about the other team, what they're doing. It's everybody kind of, there's a support system there for everybody, and they want to help each other. At least that's what I see from where I'm at. Guys, explain it to me like I'm 5, and we'll start with Sean. How does the season work? You have matches, you have tournaments, and then you got district, state, etc. How many of those do you typically play, and of which kind?
Well, so we have matches, which are typically going to be 9 holes after school, and then we have tournaments, which are normally going to be during the day. And they'll be 18 holes normally. And what is the number now? It's
16.
16 total.
16 limit.
Yeah.
A 16 limit on your contests. So,
Okay.
Like you can't play more than 16 of all of them put together.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So
Does that include districts, or does that?
No.
Okay.
No, not postseason. So
Okay.
you have matches and you have tournaments, and that's pretty much it. And then districts start, and then districts state now. So
Okay. And when do districts begin? When is the?
they're the first week in May, usually.
yeah.
And it's usually the first Monday or second Monday. Well, state's the second Monday in May. The districts are the first. So.
Okay. It's interesting. It's almost a crunch time of getting everybody in there, and when you've got that many golfers, it's a lot to manage. I didn't realize that, going into this, looking into this whole high school golf thing. But I'm sure you've been through it, Drake. And
Yeah. The like my favorite days were always the either day-long tournaments where we get the day off school.
Yeah, you don't have to go to school.
Or even like districts and stuff like that where we would get to travel. There's some at Crystal. We'd have to go to Columbia or Jeff City for a district tournament just because of our situation. What are are you guys looking forward most to, like, say, matches where you guys get to catch up as coaches, or are you more looking, like, circling the calendar on, like, districts, local tournaments? Like, what are your guys' favorite events when it comes to the golf season?
Go ahead.
Well, I love the tournaments. One, because in a tournament you can, in 9 holes matches, you can have a kid who plays well. In an 18-hole tournament, that the kids who are winning those tournaments have to play well for the whole time. They can't really have any letdown. So I like to see our kids playing those because, if they're playing well, they're going to put themselves in a position to have success and to show us something. The tournaments, the kids look forward to the most, so they're more excited about them. And when they're more excited about them, you get more excited about them. So I really enjoy the tournaments. It doesn't matter which tournament. We host one. We play in several others. They're all good. They're all great opportunities for our kids.
Yeah, I like the tournaments too, and I really like the kids, and it's not a lot. It's a select few, but they get to go to the postseason because for a brief moment, it's really official. And Drake could speak to this. It makes you actually feel like you're a real life golfer, and you're not a pro yet, but and in his situation, back then it was district sectional state,
Right.
and you guys actually advanced through as a team.
That's right.
Advanced
Yep.
through, which was neat to watch them, just the experience, how excited they were. So
Drake's been holding out on us a little bit, Ray. He's been a little humble about his golf career. Evidently, he was good enough to qualify for the postseason there.
I will say I always felt like an actual golfer for about 3.5 holes, and then after that I'm like, you know what? If we're going to move on, it's going to be my teammates. It ain't going to be me today.
Guys, all I want to know is where do I sign up to get lessons? That's all I want to know.
Well, and it's interesting. You're talking about Coach Sucharski and his golf background, and for those of you who don't know, next year, school year, Coach Sucharski will be the athletic director, or whatever title they bestow over at Hillsborough. It's all different now at each school. It's still ADs to me.
Yeah.
But Now, I know I have it on a good account. I know every summer there's the ADs get together and play golf. Are they concerned now about you becoming an AD and that pool of Jefferson County athletic directors now? Are they worried about you?
Well, the thing with the AD tournament that they have in the summertime is that they have the AD and he invites usually 3 guys. So I've been playing it for a while. So
okay. So you've been the ringer, so to speak.
Well, not necessarily. We have a pretty good group of guys who can play some golf over there, and it's always a fun event. So
listen, I've been a part of golf where all of the other conference coaches, including myself, we were scrambling against him and still lost. So he's the ringer whenever he's playing.
Well, if you had to, you threw out a couple names earlier, Coach Sucharski, but if you guys had maybe just a handful of names, and I know you don't want to leave anybody out, but if there's a few players here or there that you might, folks might keep their eye on this year as far as what they're going to be able to do this season. Sean, who do you have?
Well, we have Caleb Weiler, who's playing, and Caleb actually is qualified for state 3 times his freshman, sophomore, junior year. So, he's looking to go. It'd be great if he could go 4 years in a row. But Caleb, and then we have some other seniors, Paige Beffa, Jacob Doza, Grace Niels, Mallory Thomas. They've been with me since,
since the beginning,
all of their years, yeah. And then we got a good group of young kids coming in that are looking promising already. We'll have to wait and see kind of how that goes. But, that's kind of what we're looking at now. But Caleb has kind of set the pace right now, and hopefully he continues to. He's really starting off the season being a real good leader.
I actually have a question it's a question from the Facebook folks here. Coach Jason Jarvis has asked us real quick, so are you coaches hackers or scratch golfers?
Hacker.
my handicap is around scratch, so I'm pretty decent.
I think we need to ask Jason if he's a hacker or scratcher.
I know Jason is probably a hacker too.
Well, Coach Sucharski, who do you have we need to maybe keep an eye on over there this year?
Well, I mentioned Jack Prince earlier. He is a senior this year, and he qualified for state as a sophomore. Last year he missed it by a couple. So I'm looking forward to him getting back to that level where we go to state with him. But I have Jack Ray, who's a junior. Robbie Grubbs, who's a senior. He's really got a really great swing, and it just looks like if he just puts it all together, he's going to have a great round, and I think he can do that. Dustin Stortzum is a senior who's done a really good job for us for the 4 years of getting better. He's kind of the poster child of our program, I think, because what he does is, or what he's been, where he was as a freshman is so much different than where he is now as a senior. I mean, he's just improved so much, and that's what you want to see kids do. And to see him have success out there would be great. Greg Robinson is another one. We got a new player from Oakville, Jacob Salas, who's played his first match today. So I'm just looking forward to all those guys growing, and we have some young kids as well that I think are going to be pretty good players.
And then you touched on the way kids improve over time, and I know as a coach that's got to be one of the most rewarding jobs, regardless of the sport, to see someone who's an underclassman and watch them develop. Maybe they're getting bigger, getting stronger, they're learning their sport, they're improving all the time. I know it's, as a fan, that's rewarding for me to see, and it's got to be rewarding for you guys as well.
Yeah, it's just watching them grow up in front of you. And,
right.
They're in a lot of cases, especially basketball, but in golf during this time of year, they spend more time with you than they do their parents. And so you have that relationship that Coach Breeze mentioned. It's a special relationship. It's a lot different than you get to form in other maybe activities and areas like that. So it's a great opportunity for us to see those kids grow up in front of our eyes.
And in the case of Greg Robinson, your center at Herky, or at Hillsborough, pardon me, and I got Herky on the mind. Thanks, Jason. And Sean with Caleb Weiler, his center too. You get to see those guys who are very good basketball players in other sports too. And I just think it's interesting that your two big men are two of your golfers you mentioned out there, hitting the links and then getting better in other sports as well. So I wanted to toss that out there.
Yeah, it's neat to watch them just in different settings. Switch from the intensity of the winter basketball season to watching
Right.
them kind of relax and kind of lay back a little bit during the golf season. But
Yeah, it's a totally different thing because both of
Yeah.
those guys, when they're intense, they're locked in. They're big rebounders, So it's all about effort and desire, and they get that fight. And then golf, you gotta loosen up, man. It's like
Well, and
gotta
as a coach, you not only get to see your players, you get to see other kids' players or other teams' players. It's fun to see those guys and see their personality when they're not on the basketball court or when they're not on the field, and
Right.
it's a lot different.
that's
and,
awesome.
And during golf, I'm going to build off what you just said because those relationships you're talking about, other coaches get a chance to get those relationships with those kids
Yeah.
on other teams.
Right.
Same thing you just said, but that golf is kind of where I get to know some of these basketball players.
Right.
Because during the season, it's just a lot going on. But as long as they're having fun, that's the goal. So,
That's awesome.
Yep.
I got nothing.
You got nothing? Well, I tell you what, I think we should throw it over to Ray at this point. And I know he's asked these questions before. We'll get back to that in just a moment. We're going to take a break real quick. You're watching The Golf Show on the Main Street Sports Show on live stream STL. Be right back.
The Jefferson County Tourism Commission invites you to explore the natural beauty, fine dining, parks, wineries and breweries, scenic drives, historic sites, and even a local raceway. All this and so much more. All these things can be found right here in Jefferson County, Missouri. Plan your trip today at visitjeffersoncounty.com, the main source for all things Jefferson County.
At Girardi Agency Missouri Farm Bureau, we're dedicated to safeguarding your present and securing your future. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or business insurance, we offer comprehensive coverage tailored to your needs. We would love the opportunity to earn your business. Our office has been located in Hillsborough for over 30 years. Please contact our office today for a quote. 636-797-5800.
The Breeze Dental Care Team consists of dedicated individuals who are caring, kind, and friendly. Our staff is here to ensure a pleasant experience during your visit to our office. Our team includes experienced and energetic people whose goal it is to communicate well with our patients and provide the best care possible. Providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic care. Schedule a visit by calling 636-937-3030 or find us on the web at breezedentalcare.com.
Hi, this is Bill Ribble with APB Storage. APB Storage is a locally owned and operated family business that offers the best storage solutions in the Jefferson County area. Our electronic gates give you 24-hour access to your storage unit, and our state-of-the-art security system provides peace of mind and security. All of the units provide easy access drive-up doors to allow a stress-free way to your unit. Come see why people prefer the APB experience. Give us a call at 636-464-5629 or visit online at apbstorage.com.
And we are back for our second segment here for Main Street Sports, our golf edition, and turn the music down here real quick. Before we get started, though, I did get an answer from Jason Jarvis on if he's a hack or a scratch golfer. He actually says neither. He drives the cart. So there you go. There's the answer that we've all been waiting for. Jason Jarvis is the caddy and the golf cart. It's probably
It's the refreshment cart for sure.
One quick post here, and feel free to post. We love having some feedback here. Thank you for the discussion on golf. You guys do a tremendous job. We appreciate that, Gail Dempsey. Appreciate that. So cool that we're able to put those those posts on here. But we'll kick it back over here to Mr. Whitener and start our second segment?
Well, before we start our second segment, I want to just finish up the first because these guys have been asked before, but I want to give them another chance here because we always throw this at them at the last minute. We need to ask Coach Sucharski and Coach Breeze the Ray question.
Here it is. Okay. Here's the question. It's always the Ray question. Coaches, what is something that you do that you love to do that maybe nobody knows about? Sometimes it's kind of a secret, hidden thing that you like to do.
Hidden talent.
Hidden talent, whatever. But inquiring minds want to know. So there you go.
I'll let you go first.
I was going to start with Coach Sucharski, but go ahead.
I don't know if I have any other talents. You know what? I don't know. Whenever I'm at home, we like to spend time in the kitchen, like to cook quite a bit, whether it's grilling or in the kitchen. But during the summer, something I do a lot is I have a garden every year. And
nice.
I love to actually work out in the garden. You didn't know that, did you,
I
Jay?
sure didn't. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
But, I love doing that. And that's
What do you like to grow? What's your favorite?
Oh, man, anything from
Tomatoes,
peppers, squash, you name it, lettuce, all of it. So however big we can make the garden, grow as much as we can.
Now, I'm going to tell you, that is not the answer he gave me the first time. I believe the first time he said he played golf. So.
Can't really do that on the golf show.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I know he's a very good trivia night player, too.
There you
I
go.
can tell you
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Firsthand, so.
Coach Sucharski.
I don't know about any talents either, but one of the hobbies that I have is that a lot of people don't know about that know me is that I'm an avid baseball card collector.
Oh, wow.
My dad got us started when we were young. He would take us to card shows, so that was something that we got to do with him, and he'd give us all the cards that had creases and all that stuff, and we'd add them to our personal collection, and it kind of grew from that, and we started doing some more shows with him, and my collection grew, and then when he passed away, I inherited his collection, so
Wow.
I've got a pretty extensive collection of baseball cards.
What's your most expensive card that you think you have?
I don't know about expensive because it's not in the greatest shape, but we have a 1909 Topps T06 Ty Cobb card.
Wow. My goodness.
That's probably the one that I enjoy the most because it's Ty Cobb, and
Yeah, no doubt.
it's just a.
So, along with your teacher's pension when you retire, this will be your retirement plan?
It'll probably pay for a little vacation. But
Pretty interesting because I know Joe's he's a big St. Louis Cardinal memorabilia collector too, so we'll get to that here. Very interesting choices. Very good answers to those questions,
right.
fellas. Well, I'd like to swing it over now to Joe Hatfield here. I've known Joe for at least 15 years, maybe 20, Joe. I don't know.
Right.
Joe is, as we mentioned before, the president of the Jefferson County Optimist Club, and he's also the youth golf chairman. And that is really why we wanted to have him here tonight. But, Joe, before we start, I know you've always been optimistic, but how did you become an optimist? And then how did you get on the youth golf chair?
Well, actually, my wife was very active in the Twin City Optimist Club, which is one of the largest clubs in Missouri at all. There's 120 members in the Twin City Club, and they're all women. So interestingly, I asked her if I could join the club, and she gave me that look, do you want to join an all-women's club? Or there's another club in Jefferson County called the Jefferson County Club, which is co-ed. So that's the club I joined. But not many people know a lot about the Optimist Club. It's a service organization, not dissimilar to the Lions or the Rotary or something. But it's all about bringing out the best in youth, our community, and ourselves. So a lot of the outreach is to youth, but it is so rewarding and helps our communities too. So the Optimist Club is much larger than you might imagine. It's a worldwide organization.
Sure.
It was started 105 years ago.
Wow.
And St. Louis was one of the charter members of Optimist Club.
I did not know
And
that.
interesting, the international office is in St. Louis for all optimists. For instance, there's 1,300 clubs in the United States. There are 40 in East Missouri from Jefferson City, Rolla East, and another 40 in western Missouri. So it's an international club was started 100 years ago in Canada. There's 425 clubs in Canada. So these are really autonomous clubs in your own community that does work for your community and the youth in your community. It's expanded largely in the Caribbean, very big in the Caribbean, other countries around the world, and most recently we have 45 clubs that are expanding in Nepal. Well, I didn't know where Nepal was. We had to look it up on the map. But it's just blowing up. It's between China and India. And there are 45 new clubs in the last few years in Nepal, and they embrace the same values at all the clubs, and they're doing great work over there. So the Optimist Club, I'll talk about the golf, but they do a lot of things. We do an oratorical contest. We do an essay contest. We do art contests. And you should see the youth just with spectacular skills that you never realized how great these young people are. And that happens in all the clubs. So there are clubs that just do sports programs, softball, baseball, soccer. Some clubs are primarily about owning their own field or fielding their own teams in their little communities, and it really is a great outreach. And I got involved about 5 years ago with the junior golf program. So there's an international golf program. It's one of the top premier junior golf tournaments in the world. The championships are held in July at Doral Spa and Resort in Miami, Florida. And there's probably 5,000 junior golfers play in the district qualifiers, which I'll talk about the East Missouri qualifier. But then about 600 or 700 golfers of the top two in each age group go to Doral and compete. And it's an international experience that I've heard some of our golfers from East Missouri met people, made lifelong friends from all over the world. And this is from ages 10 to 18. So
it's not just high school kids.
It's actually like 5th, 6th grade on up. The predominant players are in that 15 to 18, but we've had golfers as young as 10 or 11 years old. There's 5 divisions of boys and 3 divisions of girls. And again, the top 2 qualifiers from our tournament and every district tournament, there's about 50 district tournaments that qualify to go to Doral and play the famed Blue Monster course down there at Doral. So they get to, their parents go, they have accommodations. It's just a real total experience for these golfers. And 2 years ago, we had a golfer from St. Louis that came in first in our tournament. When he competed at Doral, he came in out of 200 17, 8-year-old boys, he came in 7th. And now he's playing golf at Notre Dame University. So these kids, they're of all skill levels. We've had golfers 10, 11 years old that their parents said, he or she's never walked 18 holes, Well, they usually ride a cart, and they usually go with their parents. But on these, and this is a legitimate tournament, it's run by the Gateway PGA, by the way. I hire them, and Jason Eisenhower and his staff at Gateway come down and run the tournament, and they announce them on the first tee, and they have an electronic scoreboard. They also take care of the rules if there's drop situation, hazard, out-of-bounds situation. I let the professional PGA people make those decisions. And so the young golfers, they can't be instructed by their parents. They have to either carry or pull their cart. They can't have caddies. They can't have golf carts. So they're walking the whole 18 holes. But these kids are so accomplished. They don't have to be a really good golfer, but they do need to know the rules. They need to know the etiquette of golf. And they are polite and they're friendly, and they're just, when you talk about bringing out the best in youth, this is some of the best youth that you would be so proud of, just like your golfers on your golf team. Yeah, this is the future of golf and of our communities. So when we have this tournament, it's going to be June 7th, and it's going to be held at St. Genevieve Golf Course, right off Interstate 55, about 30 minutes south of here or less. They close the course for us on a Friday. So they have the whole course shut down from 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. Last year we had 47 golfers, and 10 of those did qualify to go to Doral last year. So, we've had young women in the 17, 18-year-old shoot 2 under par. Now, we have a yardage restriction so that all the tournaments around the world, the girls have to play 6,000 to 6,200 yards, which is the men's regular tees. And this young lady shot 2 under par. The boys always shoot right around par, 1 over par, 1 under par, and they're playing 66 to 6,800 yards. So if you know the qualities of these golfers, then the younger ones play 5,000 yards, 5,500 yards. If they have a qualifying score, let's say for the most accomplished golfers, maybe 76, 77, 78, they would qualify for Doral. The younger kids could shoot 90 and qualify for Doral. So it's professionally run. It reaches a lot of youth. A lot of parents come down, and if they make it to the big tournament, we've had at least 30 or more golf coaches down there looking for scholarship recipients, and they come down, and I could drop a few names, but a lot of the professional golfers of today have played in the Optimus tournament. And Scotty Scheffler, the number 1 golfer in the world, had played in this tournament. I could name a lot of them. The name I'll drop is Tiger Woods won it 8 times.
Wow.
So
is that good?
Every age group. No, I think it was 6
heard
times.
of him.
Yeah, he's done, and every age group he won, and he got national exposure and played college golf there too. So.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned, having some of the golf coaches down there, scouting, recruiting. I was just going through this list the last couple of years. Logan Cox from Hallsville was he was one of your past winners. He was the 2022 Missouri State champion. He's golfing for Truman State now. Alana Gilbert from Jackson High School, 3-time state qualifier.
Yeah.
Full ride to Indiana State. I mean, you could go on and on down this list and everything. So it's great exposure for these kids just to even go down and compete.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and it's the parents are allowed to ride along on a golf cart, but again, not giving any instruction or encouragement, yes. But it's just a professionally run tournament, and it does qualify for the international tournament, which is a big deal, honestly. People that go there have a tremendous experience and, again, international exposure.
So how long do you start planning the day after it ends for next year? And then how many volunteers do you have to take with you to coordinate this whole event?
Well, I usually start in about December, and I start mailing out the invitations and set up the course in January, early January. So that gives me almost 5 months to get it. We probably have, we have marshals on the course to make sure play moves along, and then the blind holes they can have the players go ahead and hit off the tee when things are cleared. From the 9th green to the 10th tee is a long walk, so we can shuttle the players on golf carts to turn the 9 holes. And we have probably 12 to 15 Optimist members volunteer to come out. And it's, again, it's really well done. I'm going to encourage you to look 2 ways. You can register online at the Optimist website. It's oi-emo.org, and that's optimistinternational.eastmissouri.org. So they can get online, and also at gatewaypga.org, you can click on Junior Golf and go to the Optimist website, and you can register and pay by credit card or PayPal online for this tournament. I also would be glad to send the hard copy or registration sheets out to anyone.
Well, and anybody that's watching the show, too, they could comment on social media. And if they want to comment, we'll get a hold of him, and we'll put all of you together. So
right. So, again, we're hoping for 50 to 60 golfers this year. It's a growing thing, but it's all about the youth and youth golf and also citizenship and the right qualities for our youth of today.
Well, now, Joe, let me ask you this. I've talked to the coaches and asked them, some of the most rewarding parts of what they do as coaches in golf. You've been doing this for 5 years now. What's the most rewarding part of this whole process for you?
Well, just seeing the excitement of the golfers when they start, as how they conduct themselves on the course. And we give trophies out to first and second place, and I am the one that gets to award the trophies. So just the pride and the smiles of the parents, their friends, and the kids, it's a real rewarding experience for them and for the optimists.
Fantastic. You guys have any questions, comments, anything? Ray?
I mean, I'm just in awe at how cool, seems like it's a pretty well put together, tournament. And,
Right.
We're happy to kind of get that word out for you guys
And,
here in a little bit as well.
Well,
Right.
and I try to encourage all my kids who are better players to go do this tournament because, there's other national junior tournaments that cost a lot of money. And this is an opportunity for kids to get in a big national tournament without spending that money. And I just think I try to promote it to my kids who are better players because it's just a great opportunity for them.
Awesome.
I do want to clarify that it is $85 to play this tournament, but if we have a player that needs financial assistance, we can't say that we pay their entry fee, but we can get an Optimist Club locally to help defer some of those expenses.
There you go.
Fantastic. Well, we've asked these gentlemen the Ray question. Ray, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead since I've known Joe. I'm going to ask Joe the Ray question.
Go right ahead.
Joe, any hidden talents, any skills? I know that Southern Illinois guy, minor,
Yeah.
worked your way up into the highest management. I know you got that stuff. I know your music stuff. Tell us what your hidden skill is.
Well, I am proud to be a miner and go into mining engineering at Rolla, a good school. But I think it's my music. I started playing music when I was 15, 16 years old. Taught myself to play guitar. I did take a few lessons, but mostly learned it on my own. I play bass guitar, rhythm guitar, keyboards, and try to sing a little bit. But when I got into college at University of Missouri Rolla School of Mines, I joined a rock and roll band that's a 10-piece band, and going way back, they played Chicago, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, all the big with band with 4 pieces of brass. Now we play Blues Brothers type of stuff that features the brass section of our band. And interestingly, we're going to go back down to Rolla for the Golden Reunion in May to play at my college again. All us 72, 73-year-old guys still rock and rolling. And that's my passion.
It's awesome.
Take it from me because I know personally because we used to be in a band together. Joe is still rocking, and that's awesome. I appreciate it. And gentlemen, I appreciate having all of you guys on tonight, taking the time. I mean, spending all this time after school out there on the course, and then had to come on in here and talk to us guys. But really appreciate it. Help get the word out about high school golf.
No doubt. Yeah.
It's something that I just think is just under-publicized, undervalued, at least in this area. And I wanted to get the word out there. And Joe, we appreciate you coming in and talking about this tremendous opportunity for the youth golfers as well. So thank you very much, gentlemen. We appreciate you all. Ray, before we get out of here, let's tell the folks, why don't you tell the folks what we have coming up next Friday?
Oh, next Friday. You threw me on I was trying to think because we got a pretty busy schedule this week. Main Street Sports Standouts. We'll have our basketball standouts, and we've already kind of started doing interviews because some folks can't be there for that. But we'll have the Main Street Sports Standouts for large school, small school, boys and girls. We're doing first team, second team, and then we're giving away MVPs as well. So it should be a fun one.
Both of you gentlemen might want to tune into that because you might hear some of your players mentioned.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it here.
Thank you.
Guys, who'd ever guessed we'd have done golf, but now we've done golf.
That's
so
right.
There you go. But fun one.
Greg,
one
you
here.
haven't waved at the camera yet.
Yeah, wave to the camera, Drake. There he is. There it is. We can't do that without having Drake here to do that. So.
That's right.
Thanks again for being with us. For all of us here at Livestream STL, thanks again for watching Main Street Sports. We will see you down the road. Keep you involved on our Facebook pages with our schedules. See you soon. Thanks for watching today's broadcast. Any unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Livestream STL is strictly prohibited.